So, you want to know what it's like to drive a C7 Corvette Z06. In this video, I'm going to break down every single feeling you get out of driving this thing, and we will take this thing for a nice drive as well. I mean, who gets a Corvette and drives it like a Toyota Corolla, right? Nothing makes me angrier than people with really nice sports cars and they don't even use them for what they were built for. So that's really my goal with this channel. So of course, first thing we're gonna do is open up this door here and pop the hood. And every morning, it's actually a requirement that you greet your LT4 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque engine, of course, with a supercharger on it. Knowing, by the way, every time you open this hood, that absolutely everything is going to be in pretty much perfect condition. These are incredibly reliable cars underneath the hood. Some of them, the automatic transmission versions earlier, like 2015, 2016, can run into some overheating issues, and some of the manual ones, you know, the clutch can go a little bit earlier than you thought. But I mean, overall, to get these to overheat, you gotta be driving like crazy. Plus, it'll normally reduce the performance before you start running into actual reliability issues, if you will. I mean, right when you hop in here, you realize how special this car is. Absolutely amazing animations. If you do get the Z06, you got the Z06 logo down here just to remind you, you're working with about 200 extra horsepower over the Stingray. Let's get a cold start here. Many Corvette owners seem to actually not know this, but there is a little slot for your key right in there. But because this little key is going to dangle down, we're actually just going to put it in the cup holder. And you know, it's got all of its necessities. We got the phone charger here. Yeah, the interior, a lot of plastic. But that, you know, you want this car to be lightweight. I do not want an oversaturated interior if it's going to hinder the performance of this car at all. 3,500 pounds, 650 horsepower, rear tires 335 in width. This thing is just crafted to perfection for driving. And then with this whole interior, it's just facing the driver here. So if you are a passenger, you're gonna feel a little bit left out, but don't worry. The back of the seat here has super glue for when you're stuck back to it when the driver's accelerating. Man, I mean, with the subtle touches though, this one has of course, a white exterior, but the red brake calipers, the red Z, red paddle shifters here, red stitching, red seats. It is awesome. So after you listen to the glorious cold start, you're ready to start driving your C7 Corvette Z06. Amazing feeling leather steering wheel here. A carbon fiber steering wheel would probably look a little bit better, but nonetheless, the one that comes from the factory is very, very nice. You're gonna have your drive mode selector right here. So of course, you have to drive in either sport or track. That's the car actually will blow up if you're in Eco or Tour. It's not meant to drive in those settings. Obviously, it won't actually. But in sport and track mode, the valves open and it allows you to listen to the greatest American Eagle you've ever heard in your entire life. Now, you can get a 7-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic. We've done plenty of videos with the 7-speed manual, but we got the 8-speed automatic now. So right away, suspension is going to feel very, very firm, but also comfortable. This is not going to be a car that you can't daily drive. The steering is not too stiff. It doesn't require much weight that you have to put into it. You should be able to do it with 2 fingers right here. Nice and easy. And then the car is just honestly begging for you to do this. And if you haven't done that before, your first time doing that will open you up to a whole new realm of what is possible with any sports car. Guys, I've driven an incredible amount of cars on this channel. It's been an amazing journey, but I say this every time. The C7 Corvette Z06, it really makes you think, why does anyone spend $140,000, $150,000 for like a Lamborghini or like an Audi R8 when this thing is here, ready to be used to its fullest potential? And really the best part about it has got to be the fact that hold on, I'll wait till I drive. As I was saying, the best part about this car has to be that it is so reliable. If something were to break, we got a nice little C6 over there. Thumbs up, and that, hey, there you go. As soon as you hop into C7 Z06, you're immediately not just a part of the Corvette community, but you're kind of almost at the pinnacle of the Corvette community. And it's a strong community, trust me. Wow. Got a little bit, not really sideways, but we definitely lost a little bit of traction there. Yes, 335 tire width. However, again, we're working with 650 horsepower weighing 3,500 pounds, and the weather is starting to get a little bit colder, which means the grip is just not going to be as good as it used to be. We were on a little bit of a bend there as well. Straight line should be a bit better. Yeah, still fighting for traction a little bit. My gosh. Not only do you have that speed, but you also look around at 99.9% of the cars that you pass or drive past you, and you will win in a race. The first time I realized how insane this car actually was, of course it was obviously feeling the acceleration potential that this thing has, but there's plenty of videos of these beating Lamborghini Huracans, so that's what's unbelievable. This is basically the American dream, right? You can dream about a Huracan. Yeah, the V10 sounds like more money. I guess it's up to your own personal taste if you think a V10 sounds better than this. Hard to argue that it doesn't. But are you really going to spend an extra, what, 130, 140? I mean, to get a Huracan with this little miles, this has 6,600 miles now, you're going to be looking at around $250,000. Really? When you could spend 80 and get this and do this? I think it's a M2 right there. That might have been an M4. Sorry. But you really have to control yourself in this car, guys. This thing is no joke. The traction control system is phenomenal. I'm not saying from a crashing perspective, but I am saying from a keeping your license perspective. Not only do these stand out a lot, right? You're going to get a lot of attention. You're going to get a lot of looks. Even in this white color, your peripheral vision, if you're driving past this thing or you see a C7 pass you, you know it looks like a rocket ship. And so we're not even talking about how loud this thing is as well. This is not a car for inexperienced people. This is not a car I would hand the keys to somebody who has never driven anything over 300 horsepower. And this is not a car I would want to drive if I lived in a super populated city. I mean, we are on, pretty decent back roads here, but even then, letting this car stretch its legs is kind of difficult to do. We can easily take that turn there. Yep. I was gonna say it's hard to describe the sound that this thing makes, but you guys can hear it for yourself. Well, how would you put that into words? Just absurd. Absolutely absurd. And when you're driving your C7 Corvette Z06, if you want to toss it, you really can. Not only does the 3,500 pounds help with the immense acceleration experience that you get, but of course, because it's so lightweight, this thing can corner like an absolute monster. And brake like an absolute monster. And those pops, unbelievable. $3,500 RPM in this thing is faster than a massive list of cars that I've driven at the red light. When you shift high, it just gives you one loud bang of a pop. But when you shift a little bit lower in the RPM range, it makes these nice, consistent pops. All right, let's do a pretty fat one right here. Also, when you're driving your C7 Z06, you know, visibility, if you have a stage 3 spoiler in the back, is really not all that great if you can kind of see. But yeah, you're going to find yourself looking around for cops often. I would have a radar detector if I were you. I don't know why I don't. But, you know, can't predict a cop coming up around the corner there. Let's get a little bit ahead here. And let's go to... Oh, that's unpredictable. Cop could very well be in that mix there. Unreal. Do you see what I mean by you have to be mature? Because I'd like to think of myself as mature, but can anyone really contain themselves in this car? Oh my gosh. And okay, the shift gears for a second, no pun intended. The technology in this thing is just enough. You got your heads-up display, you might be able to see it from the GoPro's view. You have Android Auto, oh, what's that there? GT350. Guys, that's got to be one of the most amazing things about this car is the community that you get. Oh, somebody just got pulled over. I am very glad it's not me. But man, the community that you get into. I've said it so many times before. I can't stop saying it. The networking potential of owning a car is real. It's a real thing. Let's see what's going on up here. Whoa, somebody's getting out of their car. What the heck? Did you really pull over in the middle of the road? That guy's definitely getting a ticket now if he wasn't before. Let's do a little whip around action. And at just a push of a throttle, you could lose that back end real easily. So that's why I personally would not hand the keys off to somebody who has close to zero experience with driving these types of cars. After that cop's done with, oh, it's an unmarked one too. Guys, these unmarked vehicles are getting out of hand. Like, I'm gonna find myself in some trouble one day with that. He's gonna see me, and he's gonna be like, yeah, you're done, buddy. Man, the sound at 2,000 RPM even. You're never going to forget what you're behind the wheel of, ever. Oh my gosh. And I'll make a full video on comparing the automatic to the manual. It's a tough debate. But if you are going to be dailying your car, I mean, most people who own manual cars, they say themselves, like, sometimes really it is really nice to be in an automatic. But if you're going to be on roads like these and driving it as a weekend car, oh, get a manual, without a doubt. The manual, it did hit different. I would pay to see and hear what it sounds like if that went flying past me. Oh my gosh. All right, yeah. Probably the biggest enemy against the C7 Z06 or any crossroads, because yeah, cop could easily be sitting there and you're done. You are done. I believe the quarter mile time in this car is in the, is it mid-11s? I need to refresh my memory on the quarter mile of this car, but needless to say, this thing hits 100 miles an hour in about 10 seconds. So if you're already going 50, it could be even less than 10 seconds. If you're already going 50, I mean, guys, watch for yourself. Let's go to 50, and we'll just pin it for a second. Let's see how fast we get up to speed. Up to speed. 50, there we go. And you are arrested in 2 seconds. That should sum up the C7 Z06 in a nutshell. Absolutely incredible. And if you would like to, you can always take off your roof for a convertible experience without having to ruin the looks of the car. I mean, everyone agrees that a soft top ruins the look of the car when the top is up. I own a convertible Maserati Gran Turismo, and it absolutely, it does. But when the top's down, it looks beautiful. This, however, a hard top looks really good, and you have the option to make it a convertible, which is just, you got the best of both worlds. And the transmission, if you've ever driven a dual clutch or you've driven a Porsche PDK, yeah, the shifts are not on that level, but you can't complain. Again, like you're working with $200,000 performance in an $80,000 car. I mean, this thing was one owner, 3,000 miles for $80,000. With the wheel issue solved. C7 Z06s and Grand Sports have a problem with the wheels cracking, and so everything all in, everything brand new, basically, $80K. And you can find used Z06s with like 20, 30, 40,000 miles on them, starting at $60,000. There is no better value. There is no better value if you're somebody that wants the speed and the looks and the cornering ability. This car has it all. My GoPro dies way too quick, but what is it like to drive a C7 Z06? It's like you're just fighting an urge. You're fighting an urge to just treat the road like a track. I hope you have a track nearby you if you ever get a C7 Z06, because you're going to be using that thing often, and the car will let you use it often without running into issues, which just really completes the entire package of the car. If you guys have any questions, any more questions, if I didn't describe anything that you wanted me to hear, that you wanted to hear me describe, let me know. I will gladly go more in detail on this. But man, I mean, yeah, this car is unique, stepping in it every single time, because you just can't get used to the acceleration power. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.